Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today I thought I would talk a little bit about commissions, as in this video I am drawing a commission. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about some things on my mind about commissions, and I don't know, I guess just things that I would tell my younger self. So if you're on your art journey and you are maybe earlier on and you're not really familiar with doing commissions, let me bestow some wisdom upon you. So, how does one get commissions? I think that was honestly the hardest part for me getting started, is like, how do I get people to like want to buy this? Like, how do I get people interested? How do I get people to actually buy my stuff? You know, that's probably the hardest part. I think number one, most important thing is, well, maybe the two things I'm going to talk about first are probably the most important. They may be equally important, whatever. I'm going to start with, you need to have a menu of your products, because how is someone supposed to order if they don't know what you offer? So the portfolio is super important, of course. Like, everything that you post online, whether that's Instagram or Twitter or ArtStation or wherever you're posting the things that you create, you know, like, that's how we get to see your style and like what kind of work you make. But I personally like the idea of having a menu on my website because it's just more specific. But yeah, so having a portfolio slash menu that has examples of what they can purchase is really important, because again, how are they going to order if they don't even know what you are offering? So make sure that your portfolio is also showing the things that you want to sell. Sometimes we combine personal work and like professional work, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think, you know, if your profile is one thing, but you want to sell something else, that's not going to be clear. So just make sure you're showing what you want to sell. And ask yourself, what even are you offering? Are you offering pinups? Are you offering like full comics? Are you offering a product? Like maybe you design keychains or convention merch. You know, so, or some people like me, I don't really like to do all the production part. I really like to provide just the files. So just establish that before you get too far into it. Yeah, like, and think about, what do I have experience doing? What can I deliver as a product? And again, like just doing the file, that's enough. For a lot of people, that's all they need. They're happy to talk to a printer or manufacturer, whatever. They're just not an artist. Like, they just need the art. So providing just the file is perfectly fine. But I think it's important to just establish that so that you know what to promise people, you know what to advertise to people. Number two, again, maybe equally as important as number one, in the getting people interested, getting people to actually purchase from you, is networking. And I think this kind of unlocked a lot for me when I realized it, but social media is just that. It is social. That is the key word. It is a two-way conversation between you and the other account. So reach out to people. I have reached out, like, kind of like a cold call, where I will just message, you know, I work with a lot of authors, so I'll just be like, hey, if you need illustrations of your written work, let me know. Like, that's what I do. And yeah, you know, I may only get like a response from maybe 10% of those people, but it has paid off, and I have gotten a lot of responses. You know, if you put it out there enough, you are going to get some responses, you know. And yeah, so I think reaching out, don't be afraid to reach out to people. I think it's really frustrating when we feel like we're fishing and we're just like, there's just like our lure in the water, and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting for the fish to come to us. But we don't have to do it like that. You can reach out to people. You can investigate, like, okay, my art is similar. I'm not trying to encourage you to like poach or anything, but you know, sometimes you can look at another artist as like, hey, this person's kind of at a similar level to me, and I noticed they get commissions from, you know, these types of followers, whatever. I don't think there's anything wrong with like researching that and reaching out to your followers and trying to build your base, and just like reaching out to other accounts that you think may make a purchase from you. So don't be afraid to kind of do like the cold call thing. Some people may view that as like, oh, that's rude or that's invasive, and it's like, I don't know, you don't have to respond to me. You can block me, that's fine. Like, I'm not harassing you. I'm not like up in your business. I'm just leaving one quick note. Hey, I offer this service. Please let me know if you're interested. I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally, but hey, what do I know? Yeah. Another piece of advice I would give my younger self as you know, just an artist starting out with commissions is don't be surprised if it takes a long time. Like, you can be a really skilled, seasoned artist, and you know, it takes people a while to find your work, to figure out that, oh, they are open for commissions, you know. And it goes with building your following and everything, and then of your following, only a percentage is like gonna actually make a purchase. So it's going to take a long time. It is simply going to take a long time, and you just have to be very patient. This is very much an exercise in patience. So I think that's very important. I think also just setting up a reliable payment method is important too. I know PayPal charges a lot of fees, but they're secure and a trusted household name. I use PayPal for a lot of stuff. You can also, there's calculators to where you can kind of factor the cost of PayPal fees into what you charge your client, and just make sure they're okay with that. Like, hey, if you want to pay me with PayPal, there's just this, you know, X percentage fee. I have never had someone turn it down. They're like, oh, happily. They're like, I will happily pay the 3% PayPal fee, you know? So yeah, so that's just something to consider. Just make sure that you have a trusted, reliable payment system in place that people are going to be comfortable using. I know when I'm working with people on the internet, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I only accept PayPal for, you know, purchases under X amount. Like, if you're gonna send, you know, there's so many scams out there, like, oh, I'll send you an e-check. Yeah, okay, buddy. Like, sure, that's totally not a scam, you know? So, having a payment method that is reliable is important for both the client and the person providing the service. So, yeah, just have that set up. Because you don't want someone to be like, oh, I'd love to commission you, how can I pay you? And you're like, I haven't set that up yet, you know, like, so definitely make sure that's set up. But yeah, and like I said, a lot of, you know, getting commissions is, again, networking and being social and building a community, because I've gotten big commissions and I don't have a very large following. So yeah, I mean, I think just marketing yourself as a professional that has goods and services to sell is important, but it's slow growing. Like I said, you got to be really patient, and I'm okay with it though, because if you are really popular online, like maybe you draw a lot of memes and stuff or whatever, like I think a meme account is a good example, right? You might get a gazillion followers, but that doesn't translate to customers. I think if you take the slow grow, you know, grow a community of people that really interact with your work and are also like they want to financially support your work, that is like infinitely more valuable to me than having a huge number in my follower count. Because again, I have a pretty small following, and I guarantee I've made more money off of my art than some people that are very popular online. And it's like, it's easy to get really intimidated. Like, oh, I don't have a big following, wah. Or, oh, I'm not getting commissions. And it's like, well, hold up. Like, just because that person has a huge following, it doesn't mean that they're making a ton of money off of it. I mean, some of them are, and that should be aspirational. I think it's easy to get down on yourself about that kind of thing. I catch myself doing it all the time, and I'm like, no, we gotta keep this aspirational. If they have a big following and they have a lot of customers, like, that's aspirational. That's something I should emulate. But again, don't be intimidated, because sometimes it's not as it appears. It's really not. And I also find people that are popular in print tend to not be as popular on the internet, and vice versa. People that are really popular on the internet, they don't always do that great with printed, like, physical products. So now, of course, there are people that are good at everything. God bless them. Again, aspirational. But yeah, like, try not to get intimidated, because I know I've been there. Try not to get intimidated. Not everything translates to cash flow on the internet. Or even, I think TikTok's a great example too. There's people who are like, oh yeah, like, I have millions of TikTok followers and that's great and everything. But, like, they're getting paid peanuts, and, like, none of those people are commission customers or even just, like, product customers. So, again, it's not all as it seems. So try not to be too intimidated. Just be patient. It is much more important to build a community that really supports you in your work and is earnest about doing that. But yeah, so that's some advice that I would definitely give my younger self about commissions. Yeah, and just, like, it's also important to be clear about your boundaries. Are there things that you are not going to draw, that you're maybe not comfortable drawing, and how many edits are you willing to do? Like, your price, does that include X number of edits? Because that's more time and more energy on your part. So definitely consider that. Do not be afraid to charge, like, an editing fee. Like, hey, if you've asked me to redraw this 2-3 times, I am going to charge, X amount more. And that's you just covering your butt. Like, don't get taken advantage of. Don't fall for scams. Don't get taken advantage of. And yeah, because this is a service. Like, at the end of the day, this is, like, a lot of work. People think, oh, it only took you 20 minutes to draw this one thing. And it's like, yeah, it also took me 20 years to learn how to draw it in 20 minutes. Like, you're paying me back for my 20 years of struggle and an art degree, So don't be afraid to charge for edits or just any, like, extraneous stuff. And I would say also just be careful, like, who you take commissions from. Make sure that they seem reliable. I would caution you to either have full payment up front or at least half to get started. Like, personally, I know a lot of the people that commission me they maybe don't have, like, the full amount up front. I am comfortable doing half and then just holding the high resolution files hostage until they finish paying me. That's what I do. A lot of people, though, swear by doing full up front, the full amount up front, and I think that's wise. I see why a lot of people do that, and yeah, maybe someday. But again, for me, I'm pretty comfortable doing half, so yeah. But yeah, so lot to commissions, lot to it. Be social, interact with people, and make new friends, because they might recommend you to people who will be customers. I think that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.